Welcome back to another episode of Lone Star College Football. Today, we are going to have our Texas versus Kansas post game show. Had a great game this Saturday. Texas absolutely dominated the Jayhawks. But before we get into that, do us a favor and like the video and subscribe to the channel here on YouTube as well as on TikTok. We are growing over there pretty fast and we put out daily content over there. So if you really like watching football highlights and clips on TikTok, make sure you check us out. With that being said, Texas versus Kansas. I was not super confident in this game. To be honest with y'all, if y'all watched our pregame show, uh, I don't think I think I picked Texas to lose because it was a road game, and Kansas has been able to put up some points, but our defense absolutely stepped up. They have back-to-back weeks now. TCU is the number one scoring offense in the Big 12, and Kansas is the number two scoring offense in the Big 12, and we held them to 17 and 14. My concern wasn't so much with the defense as much as it was the offense after what we did last week. Were we going to be able to come out and score points? And the answer to that was yes. Not through the air, though. On the ground, Bijan Robinson had himself a clinic. 25 carries, 243 yards, 9.7 yards per carry, and 4 touchdowns. And yeah, that was like not even halfway through the third quarter when they yanked him. Honestly, he was probably on pace for a 400 yard and 7 touchdown kind of game. Would have been insane to watch. But you got to pull him. You got to let the younger guys play. You don't want to risk an injury. He's about to go pro. Jonathan Brooks came in, really just picked up right where Bijan left off. 11 carries for 108 yards, 9.8 yards per carry, 2 more touchdowns, including a 70-yard scramble with a couple of broken tackles. Honestly, kind of looked like Bijan if y'all watched that highlight. He kind of got in a situation where he had multiple defenders on him and lost balance and was able to maintain his balance, get his feet under him, and show off that speed. Really impressed with how this team was able to bounce back. That was impressive to come out and technically didn't drop a goose egg on offense. We kicked a field goal, but to go from 3 offensive points to 55 offensive points is really impressive. How we translate now this performance to next week, we'll see. But what I think is more impressive is that we have now won back-to-back road games, true road games. That is really good for our program. We needed that confidence. Previously to that, we were like 1-6 on the road, and I know that now we're 3-6, and that doesn't sound great, but I'll take 3-6 over 1-8 for sure. Xavier Worthy had a quiet game, 2 receptions, 30 yards. Jay Witt had a pretty good game with 6 catches for 56 yards. Quinn, 12 of 21, 107, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Coach Sark was talking about it was like 25 degrees and windy. On a windy day, you hand the ball to your running back and let them put in work, especially when you got Bijan. Roschon Johnson did sustain a lower leg injury. Coach Sark is pretty optimistic that he will be back. This says Bijan did fumble the ball, went out of bounds. I do remember that. Defensively, no sacks, 1 interception. Really, when you look at the stats, you're like, how in the world did we stop this? I mean, honestly, they had some drops on offense. They went for it on 4th down a couple times and didn't get it. They kind of shot themselves in the foot. They did score 14 points against our defense, but even then it was really our like 2nd and 3rd string defense. It wasn't even our starters. On the defensive side of the ball, Daniels, 17 of 26, 230 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Neal, their running back, who had over 400 yards in the last 2 games, only carried the ball 13 times for 51 yards, so we shut that down really good, and we'll need to do that next week because Baylor's got a pretty talented backfield. Overall, this was a good win. Sark showed that we can go on the road and win, and really that the team hasn't given up. It kind of felt like the team in the second half, and I guess when you're winning 31-0 at half, it's a lot more confident, right? If as a fan, if we're up 14 at half, I have no confidence. When we're up 31, I feel a lot better about it, and I'm sure the players do as well. So go next week. We need to absolutely dominate Baylor in the first half. We will have a video on that coming out shortly. That Logan will be on here with for that as well. I don't really have much to say. Like a lot of times, the post game shows are a little nitpick of what did we do wrong, especially when we lose. It's what did we do wrong? We didn't do much wrong. Quinn's completion percentage was kind of trash, but it was windy. He had a couple balls that were dropped. He threw a pretty good ball to Quinn on the sidelines, or to Xavier on the sideline. That Xavier had in his hands. The defender made a play, dropped it. Quinn said it himself. He just had to manage the game. It was a Bijan day. It was a Jonathan Brooks day. And when you've got guys that talented, that's all you need. So, with that being said, pretty quick video. If you made it this far, though, I do really appreciate you. And please, once again, like the video and subscribe to the channel, as well as check us out on TikTok, Twitter, and Facebook. We have a Facebook group. Not very many people have joined it quite yet, but just a part of the vision, really, for all of the Lone Star college football platforms is to have um, a group of Longhorn fans, Baylor fans, just college football fans in general that we can get on here, talk some football, and just build a community around. So if that sounds interesting to you, do us a favor and join us. With all that being said, appreciate y'all rocking with us. Welcome.